Transmissions detected.
Kill them all.
Digital controller. You like it's right. A digital controller. You freak, you creep. You digital controller. You like it's right. A digital controller. You freak, you digital controller.
Hello, my friends. Have you ever seen these stone spheres laying around? Some people say that only nature and man can make perfectly round stone balls like this. One guess that they're seeds from giant trees, and that would give them the perfection that they have because nature can, produce perfectly round seeds. The other is cannonballs. Can you imagine? In the 1500s, before metal cannonballs were used, in their big bronze and brass cannons that, by the way, are not magnetic so that they could go to the north. They used stone, and they used it in their giant cannons that shot 2,000 pound, rocks, balls of granite and other things, marble. And then the scientists, they put their 2 cents in, and get this, I quote, "According to some archaeologists, the hypothesis is the spheres could represent solar systems or just be inspired by various stages of the sun and the moon as viewed with the naked eye, including setting or rising suns and half moons." Get the hell out of my face with that. How did you come up with that with a bunch of balls laying all over the place? But they're perfect, most of them. The ones that didn't hit anything, right? I think they're cannonballs. But the stone spheres around the world, like the ones in Costa Rica, in Antarctica, they're all over the world. California, everywhere. But the ones like, say, Costa Rica, these are in Costa Rica on the beach. They're all 8.7 feet round, or 2.66 meters. Most of them are within 1 to 2 inches, just a few centimeters of difference, okay? Well, they've found them up to 15 feet in diameter, and in the past, they found some that weighed up to 10 tons. Most of them are made of very hard rock, and I quote, like granite and basalt. And there are a dozen or so in Costa Rica made of shell-rich limestone, another dozen made from sandstone. Now, see, in Mexico and the Arctic regions, they're all still basalt and granite, even if there's nothing around. They're still made out of the same things. But it's igneous rock, I believe is what they call it. But we know it's a misleading theory that basalt columns are lava flows, right? They've been found to be, enormous trees. So the basalt stones used to be, what, seeds? Were they wooden? Did somebody carve them? Who knows, right? But the clowns say that they appeared to have been made by hammering natural boulders with other rocks, then polishing them perfectly round with sand. Okay, so the degree of finishing and precision of work is astounding. They say, quote, "It varies considerably. The gabbro came from the sites in the hills, several kilometers away from where the finished spheres are found, though some unfinished spheres still remain in the hills. Additionally, since many of the stone spheres in the region were removed from their original locations and serve as landscape decoration, no one knows where originally they came from or where they were found." See, that's kind of weird, but they say the stones that are in Costa Rica here, the ones on the beach, they're believed to have been first created around the year 600. Then they say like the year 1000, but here's the only problem. They used it says, quote, "The only method available for dating the carved stones is stratigraphy," or however you say that, but that's just looking at the layers of sediment to get the dates. And that works so well, right? We know how that works. Oh my God. That says most stones are no longer in their original locations. Well, duh. They even say the culture of the people who made them simply disappeared after the Spanish conquest, after they killed them all. Wow. But now in Costa Rica, they found these spheres. And the reason why I'm using Costa Rica is because If anyone tries to look this up, the first thing that comes up is the United Fruit Company. I mean, you can't make this up, but this is what Google's going to send you to. This is going to be what they're going to push. I quote them. The spheres were discovered in the 1930s as the United Fruit Company was clearing the jungle for banana plantations. Workmen pushed them aside with bulldozers and heavy equipment, damaging some of the spheres. Additionally, inspired by stories of hidden gold, or centers of jewels, right? Maybe the seeds petrifying into precious stone. You ever think about that? It says the workmen began to drill holes into the spheres. That's why a lot of them have holes in them. And blow them up with sticks of dynamite. Several of the spheres were destroyed before authorities intervened. Some of the dynamited spheres have been reassembled and are currently on display at the National Museum of Costa Rica in San Jose. I ask you this. Are they hiding the cannon fuse holes and what they used to do with them? We don't know what kind of technology they had. Maybe they had a way to drill down into something and then make a pocket in it, or maybe it, whatever. I don't know. Okay. But now here's where everything gets kind of weird for me, and this is what I wanted to document. The fact that the myths from the show, and I quote from the liars themselves, numerous myths surround the stones, such as they came from Atlantis. Now, I didn't say that. This is what they're telling the world. Or that they were made as such by nature. Some local legends state that the native inhabitants, you know how they lie all the time, they had access to a potion able to soften the rock. That's true. Limestone, for example, can be dissolved by acidic solutions obtained from plants. Research led by the Geopolymer Institute in France has been offered in support of this hypothesis. However, most of the spheres were created from gabbro, an acid-resistant igneous rock. Boy, they write such mess. In the cosmology of the Bribri, which is shared by the Cabacarians, or however you say that, is other American, it's basically Native American and ancestral groups. The stone spheres are, get this, Terra's cannonballs. It's Tlachki, the god of thunder. He used a giant blowpipe to shoot the balls at the Cirques, the gods of wind and hurricanes, in order to drive them out of the lands. I mean, you can't make it up, It's been claimed that the spheres are perfect, or nearly perfect in roundness. Like I was saying, they vary, but when you find them, they'll vary within 5 centimeters, okay? So anybody that likes to play with cannons knows that, well, if you varied a couple of inches, you just, the way you pack a cannon, it doesn't really matter. You can put anything you want in it. You don't really necessarily have to seal it all the way off, especially something that's shooting a 2,000-pound ball. You probably want a little blow-by anyway, so you don't blow the whole thing up in your face, because imagine how much gunpowder it took to set that off. But anyway, it says the stones have been damaged and eroded over the years, and so it's not possible to know their exact original shape. A review of the way the stones were measured by Lothrop, which he went all over in England and everywhere, right, in Antarctica. And it says the claims of precision are due to his misinterpretations of the methods used in their measurement. See, I don't understand how he could misinterpret measuring something in centimeters, meters, feet, and inches. That doesn't make any sense. So that's all just trash. But one of the things is, though, is get this, the highest caliber cannon ever constructed is the Tsar Pushka, the Emperor of Cannons, which bore a size of 890 millimeters, 35 inches, right, and a barrel length of 5.34 meters, 17 feet. It was cast, here it is, in bronze in Russia at Moscow's Cannon Yard in 1586. Look at this thing. Yeah, it's Tartarian, trust me. Whatever that means, right? I don't know, right? It just seems like that's what you would call it. It's now housed in the Kremlin in Moscow, Russia. Get this, the stone balls that it shot in the 1500s, weighed over 2,000 pounds. Or for my friends, 907 kilograms. Can you guys, you see where I'm going with this? Like, what is the truth here in this place? Are we to believe that this is a normal, round water world, spinning, flying through the vacuum of infinite space? a speck of sand in an ocean of stars. And those stone rocks are nothing. Don't even look into it. Just a round stone. Or is it part of the world that was hidden from us? The cannonballs laying around. The trees cut down, their seeds laying around. When are we going to wake up? Is it an enclosed system? Is there an unseen ethereal realm? Were there giant wars fought with huge scaled beasts? Is this a place with a firm foundation that cannot be moved, a hidden land with a firmament above it, complete with monsters, demons, angels, titans, and God, we can't forget about the clown show's finest of them. And all of it's held together by the hands of a creator? Good versus evil forever? Well, I've said it before. That's the place I live at for sure. A crazy world. I don't know. That's all I really wanted to say about the seeds or cannonballs laying all around the whole place. And I love you all. I'm Wild Dog. And I am out of here.